Hey there, guys. I wanted to come live here to you from the Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base. I know you can hear a lot of screaming around me, and I want to start off by saying this is a simulation. This is not an actual event that is happening here, but it is a pretty serious training event. And I want to bring you in here. You can, Captain Abby Stroll, you can explain to me Vigilant Guard. That is what's going on over several days. What is Vigilant Guard as we kind of show people what's happening over here?
So Vigilant Guard over here, we have simulated role players. They're playing role players that have been through a structural collapse behind us with a Buckeye Inn. So you'll see the role players scattered everywhere. The personnel in the white seats are members of our decontamination team. They are going around to those role players and triaging them dependent on their medical needs. Once they have triaged those individuals, they will then go through our entry control point, which is being manned by our security element. Then they will be led through our decontamination tents behind. Once they go through those decontamination tents, whether they are ambulatory or non-ambulatory, they will be stripped down and decontaminated from the contaminant that is at our incident at this time.
Now, I do want to interrupt you because I'm sure people are just now starting to tune in and wondering what is going on here. And I do just want to emphasize that this is a simulation. This is not an actual event. But it's important to practice situations like this. Why so?
It's very important to practice our collaboration and our training with civilian agencies, as well as make sure that in an event that this does happen in the state of Ohio or anywhere in the United States, that we are ready to respond and mitigate human suffering and save lives.
All right. Now, this situation, have you guys ever experienced something quite like this before, where there's been a collapse at a hotel or a motel and had to deal with all these people?
We have not, only in training environments, so this has been a great exercise being statewide. We've had a lot of different agencies involved, and it's really improved our response.
Now, I know Vigilant Guard is going on in, is it 11 counties across the state?
Yes, 11 counties.
Talk to me a little bit about, if you can, about some of the other events that are going on that you guys are training for elsewhere.
Some of the other events, so we have our medical and our fatality search and recovery team down at Calamityville, which is down by Dayton. They are responding to a plane crash in that event, so they are sharpening their medical skills and their training to ensure that they can provide the best care in the instance of an incident that would happen in the United States. Then we have our Homeland Response Force, and they are up at CJAG, which is Camp James A. Garfield in Ravenna, Ohio, and they are conducting our higher operations and tracking from the Sebring Task Force, our location here.
All right, and again, since I know we've gotten quite a few people watching here, I want to emphasize for a third time that what you're looking at right now is not a real event. It's a simulation. This is the entry point to the decontamination zone. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what happens? You can see the casualties over here, or a few of them on the sidewalk. What happens when they get over to this point?
When they get to the entry control point, then our security personnel and the decontamination personnel will escort them to the tents behind them, dependent on ambulatory or non-ambulatory. They will go through those lanes. They will be sprayed down with water to get the contaminant off of them, and then they will go into medical.
All right. And you guys have a lot of civilians out here too. It's not all soldiers out here.
No, we also do have civilians, yes.
What role are they playing? I think we can see a little bit right over here.
Yes, we have the casualty role players that are civilians, and that's the majority of our civilians that we do have here.
And one more time, if I can, but before we wrap this up, Vigilant Guard, I know it's a huge thing over several days. This is just one part of it.
Yes.
Why is it so important for you guys?
It's so important to get to the training and the proficiency to make sure that we are ready to respond to any sort of incident that could happen in the state of Ohio or the United States.
Excellent. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up, just about Vigilant Guard? What do you want people to know as they just saw this video, which is pretty intense, but again, a simulation?
I just would like the citizens to know that we are working hard. We are going to be here trained and proficient in our tasks, so in the event that anything does happen in the state of Ohio, we are ready to respond and save lives.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to have much more on what's going on out here at the Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base at 5 o'clock, so be sure to tune in then. Again, what you've just been watching, not a real event, it's a simulation, but one that's very important for the sake of training.